Hello, and we are back. Welcome to another week of our little spiel here where we do our Survivor recap. Last week we were out. Sorry about that. It was super hot to talk about Survivor last week, but we are going to recap some of that today just so that we can kind of keep in the flow of, all of our opinions because we have opinions.
The thing.
So, how are you guys doing tonight?
Good. I'm really tired. I've been on the road since 7:30 this morning. So tight and winding Arkansasans rows. But yeah, we're good. We made it home alive in one piece. So
how far of a drive was that for you guys?
It's only about 2 hours away, but like you spend most of the day in the car on the road, and they're like really, really tight, windy Ozark hills. So
get some good pictures.
My head's kind of swimmy.
You probably got good pictures, right?
Yeah, I got a few. They'll go up later.
Yeah, for those that don't know, Jamie takes pretty awesome pictures that she shares on Facebook all the time. And you had a nice little mini vacay. How was yours?
I did. I took a trip down up. I guess for me, everything's up to Raleigh, and
that's what she said.
And then after the 3 days in Raleigh, I drove 3.5 hours through the mountains to see my kid up in Blacksburg.
Yeah, how was that?
Tech. Oh, it was awesome.
Got to check all out the school and
drove 3.5 hours to spend 4 with him to turn around and drive 3.5, and I'd do it again tomorrow.
That's how
the parent for you right there.
It really is.
7 hours just to see my kid for 4? Whatever. We'll do it.
Whatever, it works. Now you know why these family members fly, halfway across the globe to see their family member for 5 minutes on Survivor and then have to leave.
And then they just get to wave.
They're like, I love you. You smell bad. Bye.
I can smell you from over here.
But yeah, that trip is why I wasn't on the last time we were broadcasting. It is not because my pick to win Brad got kicked out. I know that's the rumor. People are chatting about it on Twitter in my mind.
Okay, so we'll jump back 2 weeks then and let you give how disappointed were you that they sent Brad home?
Well, he was playing really hard and he put a target on his back, and
you could see it, right? I think up until that point was steady as you go, but he just all of a sudden pedaled to the metal.
Yeah. And he, he reminded me of what was who was the guy on Big Brother? The first guy kicked off, or second.
Travis.
Oh, you mean Frenchie?
Frenchie, yeah, it's the same thing. It was like all of a sudden he went from being Brad to Frenchie for like half an episode.
He wanted to get his whole season in on one episode. That's all it is.
They just lose sometimes they just lose their minds. They get so wrapped in and I don't know why it happened like that for him, but
I think
he's seeing the cameras and start realizing what you're doing.
I think, yeah, and I think he started a trend though, because this whole let's tell everybody what I have thing has continued after he's been gone. Then we've got another person that has to come clean about what they have. Boom, they're gone. Then we got another, it's don't tell people what you have. If you win something, if you get something secret, keep it secret.
Well, no question. But I think the other thing we're seeing is Ricard and Shand are ruthless. I mean, they are just absolutely playing a great game. I don't think they're going to win because I think after the merge, it's going to be really obvious. But they are playing a pretty brilliant, ruthless game. But you can see how they're going to get close on. In my opinion, they're going to turn on each other at some point.
Yeah,
well, I think it was smart for her to keep him over
Jeannie, sweet Jeannie.
Jeannie, thank you. Because we were talking about, my kids were watching with me, and I said, keep Jeannie. Yeah, you can beat her, but if you keep Ricard, he's going to be more of a meat shield, right? Because he's always going to look like a bigger threat because he is more devious. And she comes across a little more sweet, I think.
As soon as she opens her mouth, she's a threat, I think. I think it's completely
as soon
obvious.
as they know, as soon as they see.
And what an edit she got last night with her whole backstory about how she was an ex-gang member and all. And you're just like, We were like,
Right?
oh, wow, we didn't see that coming.
Yep.
So
Yep.
Well, and
I
then when
wonder if that's when she formulated her Devious soundtrack. Her do like that was like her gang member call, you know?
yeah, which gang member is going? Do, 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 do. Nobody.
Ruthless.
I don't know what gang that is.
So hardcore, man.
So hardcore. All right, guys. So take us back to last week, and what did we miss?
Well, I mean, first thing I have to say is Tiffany is obviously trying to be America's most annoying player.
Yeah, I'm kind of with
Oh
you
my
on that.
God! Every time she opens her mouth, it's like fingernails on a blackboard.
Yeah, I was getting
I
a lot
think
of
she's not
eye
even
rolls
trying
myself
that.
on that.
And you know, being 53 years old, I sort of root for the oldies. You know, I want the old people to do well, but not her. I want her to go home like yesterday.
I cannot, and I can't eat anyway. Yeah, she needed to go.
Yeah,
It's disappointing because like her first two episodes in, you know, you thought, oh, maybe she could be favorable, but yeah, I'm over it
Because
too.
they were looking at her like she was kind of like the mom figure.
Yeah,
and they were kind of liking her. They kept her. We didn't understand why. Well, they must really like her, but I don't.
Listen, that lady works at every office, and I don't like that lady in any office I've worked. I'm just saying.
Yes, she does. Yes.
We all know her.
Not in my
Yes.
office. Not in my office.
Well, if she doesn't work in your office, is it you?
It is not me. No, not me.
No,
Not me.
you're
Well, I
not.
mean,
You're
Oh, go ahead.
you're not a survivor, Tiffany. It's easy to tell. It's fine. You're solid.
You know,
But
last week, JD
week-
just got point. Oh, go ahead.
But last week, was it last week that they found the other clue? No, that was the week before, right? Telling you my weeks are running together.
Yeah, I know. Week before, so we got week before. Then last week we had JP, and then we've got the whole like, oh, why don't you hold on to my idol shenanigan?
Well, how does he fall for that? How?
Because
Maybe
he has this. Yeah, he has the spirit and the heart of a youth. It's because he's a youth.
I mean, you contrast that with the exact same situation a week later, and she asked Ricard for the advantage back, and he's like, as if I'm going to give you that advantage back. That is not going to happen. You're never going to see that advantage.
Was so funny.
The thing with JD is he doesn't have enough life experience yet to realize that when people are able to disappoint you, they usually will. So that's what, when you get older, you get a little more cynical. So maybe he doesn't have that in him yet to be that suspicious of, yeah. So,
well, and I think he also felt so in trouble, you know, being caught, like basically not with his pants down, but basically his pants down, like his idol's just sitting there hanging there. So I think he was like, you know,
yes, I have heard that too.
There it was for everyone of all ages to see.
Yeah.
No, I think he just was all like, I'm in trouble. And I think this is the youth part that I'm talking about. Like, I feel like it wasn't like, I'm in trouble, how to work my way out of this to my best advantage. It's oh my God, my mom's going to be so mad at me. How do I get out of this?
Yeah.
Like, I'm in so much trouble. And
Right.
So I was like, yeah, sure. You can have my one privilege. You can have it. You can take it. Like, just don't yell at me and don't hate me. And then boom. That was that.
Because it seemed like she wasn't even really looking at him till he gave her that. And then she's like, hey, if I throw him out, I get to keep it.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, because she thought about it's like we talked about that last week, right? Where it's like, God, should she have let JP stay? Should she have gotten rid of who she got rid of, knowing all the information, having this idol? But yeah, she got around to it. She knows what she's doing. I think she knows.
Yeah. And I think Ricard is a villain. I mean, he's not a Johnny Fairplay villain.
Right.
He's not at that level, but
yeah.
he's certainly a baddie.
Right.
Well,
right.
Is he a baddie or is he just devious?
Well,
No,
I
he's
mean,
a baddie.
I mean, that's kind of that's kind of the definition of the villain, right? I mean,
Listen, if he plays cutthroat, but he doesn't offend people and act like, do you know what I mean? Like, I can still root for him. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's not
Right. Yeah, if
being
he's
rude
not
to
like outwardly mean for mean's sake. Like he's
because he
I mean,
seems
I
like
think
he-
his scenes are the best TV this season. I mean, there's
Yeah.
no doubt he's the best character on the show.
And I have to be honest with you, his tweets have been really fun too because they're always screenshots of text messages from his mom as she's watching each episode.
Is she telling him to be nice?
Which is like a show all in its own. It's adorable and I love it.
Wait, is she complimenting him, or is she like, "Oh, I wish you would have not done that"?
Yes,
or,
yes. Sometimes she is, and she'll say things all like, "Oh, you're not being very nice. Oh, she's not being very nice. Oh, you guys are really not nice." it's very, but it's all very cute.
That's
And
great.
I truly do think that him kind of maybe being a survivor baddie is like it is literally just how it's being played because I really from everything that I read and the updates I get, he does seem like he's actually a pretty nice fella. He's just gonna start pointing out every single person now. I don't trust them. I don't trust them.
I'm not saying he's a villain in real life. I'm saying he
Right.
plays one on TV.
Just as bad.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sorry, but
Exactly.
he's definitely he's getting the villain at it. There's no question. But
For sure.
you have to give him that material. I mean, it's not like they couldn't make Danny the villain no matter how hard they tried. Because Danny's a lovable, big, strong dude,
Right.
and you're just never going to make that guy the bad guy.
Yeah.
Right.
And I don't mind rooting for the baddie. Plenty of times I have. So and like I said, as long as they're not, it's not like he's mean. He's
It's a
going to throw
game.
everyone under the bus
Yeah,
immediately.
it's a game. He's not
Like,
cheating.
immediately.
He's not being mean.
Well, like I
He's
said,
just playing the game.
he's not fake grandma's death bad.
No.
Right. Not even
No.
close.
No, I'm not saying that. He's not overtly evil. I mean, and didn't Johnny Fairplay? He turned out to be evil in real life, right?
Yeah.
He's been banned like on off of every Survivor podcast I know of, right?
Every single
One.
one.
Yeah.
We haven't banned
Oh,
him.
can we get him on just to ban him?
Just so we can do it. We're going to Travis Tritt this up, man. We're going to join that bandwagon.
And last week we had the first inkling of Lua, the Blue Tribe, where they were actually considering throwing the challenge. They first talked about it. No, but they first came up last week,
The
right?
challenge that couldn't be thrown.
Oh, yeah, because I'll tell you, Danny was like, I can't go any slower. I'm retying them and tying them and untying them and retying them. And no one's
so funny.
over there, but still, they still couldn't lose.
Well, but that was
No.
that was a challenge that Nasir basically
But that's
just
what I mean. Nasir
won
was like
on his own.
Superman, you
Yeah.
know, like just
He
busting
was
through
not
this
losing it.
thing.
But it was Danny and what's the other guy's name that wanted to throw
Danny
it?
and Deshaun.
Deshaun. Those two guys wanted to throw it. The rest of the team wasn't down with it. They didn't know about it.
Correct. And the reason that they wanted to throw it was because who did they want to send home?
Erica.
Because Erica stupidly went and talked to the guys, pointing to one of the guys that she wanted to get the other guy out. And when
No.
they're two bros like that, you can't do that.
She wanted to get Sydney out, I thought.
Oh, was that what she said?
Yeah, she wanted Sydney out.
Well, and she is trying to her method
nobody
of getting
can hear an ass
information from everybody. Yeah, and her method of getting information from people is not like, so what are you thinking? Who are you feeling out?
No,
It's
she starts
this
giving
person is trouble. What do you think? And that's
that's
just the
the way
dumbest
to
way
get
to do it.
information. You're given information. That's the wrong
Yeah.
way to do it.
Yeah.
And they
I-
were
And not only are you giving information, you're quite honestly giving false information if you're just saying like every single person there, you can't trust every single person there to every single person you're talking about, because eventually one or two of those heads are going to come together and be like, well, she said this about you. Well, she said this about you. Boom. There we go. Now we're throwing competitions.
And
But
they haven't even
I
had
think
their
too.
trial, so what's the big deal? Like, talk about that when the time comes.
Right.
But Sydney got the most narcissistic at it I've ever seen.
That's
When
just
she started with like, I'm savvy as hell and I'm good looking, and they just
She's
hate
a
me because they
mermaid.
ate me.
She's a
I'm like,
mermaid, though.
I mean, it's like,
She said that last night, and we went, huh? What?
I know. I'm like, wow, this is a cup of hot mess, and I have her as my winner's pick, and I swear I hope she goes all the way.
With that, I mean, it'd be the
That's the
first mermaid
worst.
win in Survivor history, so.
Oh
I
my
mean,
god.
And
Well-
then was it last week or was it last night that Heather completely broke down? Was that the week before? Heather,
It
the
wasn't
older
last
lady
night,
on
yeah.
the.
what was up with that 5-minute edit on "You never gave up, you never gave up"? Who
And
cares?
she was like crying.
I didn't
and all this
understand.
stuff, and we're like, was it just the pressure getting to her?
But why
Yeah,
did they
it's-
feel the need to put so much of that in the episode?
Again, I've said before, we haven't heard her say an entire word the whole season, so maybe they were just like, "Give us something, Heather. Come on."
Because
I
it
don't know.
wasn't, honestly, guys, it wasn't about the fact that she never gave up. It was about the fact that every single one of her teammates were so supportive of her.
Yeah,
And especially Danny. That edit was not for her, it was for him.
Yeah, but then,
Right.
but
Because he
then
was
Jeff
because he was really coaching the team and coaching her and being super supportive. And I think that's the narrative right there. Not just the never
Mhm.
give up, because a week earlier, Tiffany was trying to do everything she could to get her butt scooted across that balance beam in the water. And he
And
was yelling at her.
yeah.
But
So-
then Probst starts with in 41 seasons, this is why I come back. What did she do? She just didn't give up in a challenge that she lost.
But it is
Who cares?
why he
In
comes
no way,
back,
shape,
because
or
now
form. It's
now
not
there's a
definitely-
narrative and something to root for, and that means another season for Jeff. So
No.
it's why he comes back.
But I
That's why
think
he
you're
comes
right
back.
about the Danny edit.
Cha-ching.
I think they're setting him up with the hero edit, and I think he's going to go far.
For who?
Danny.
I hope he does.
The
I
ex-football
personally
player,
hope
the
he
big
does.
guy.
He's been getting a good edit. His whatever diary or whatever you call them, cameo, whatever you call those.
Yep.
They're pretty good. Yeah.
I really hope he makes it far, because I like watching him compete. He's fun to watch compete. I like listening to him work things out with other teammates. I like the conversations, so the social gameplay. His little like diary clips, like all of these are really good. I can see why he is getting the attention he gets, because he's hitting all of these marks. He is really entertaining to watch, and he would be a really easy person to root for.
Yeah.
Well, and I
But
wanna
he was a
see
Bears
him-
player. Do you know what position he played on the Bears?
You're asking me about sports
What's
ball.
his
and I don't
last
know.
name? I should know. What's his last name?
I don't even know.
No. But I'm just wondering.
We
if some of
are
that-
so responsible.
I don't know.
Anyway,
McCray. It's McCray.
McCray,
No, I don't.
yes. McCray. But he maybe that teamwork mentality, because he's worked in the large groups, maybe that helps him in this.
well, if
By
he
not-
played for the Bears, he's used to losing.
They
sure.
try to win. They're not going out there to lose, though. They're at least trying. So,
Oh no, apparently you don't watch too many Bears games.
Putting the,
Are they trying to throw them? Like,
No, I hope not.
Sometimes
what
it
it looks
seems
like.
like that.
Maybe that's where he learned it. But he seems to understand that keeping the tribe up is going to help all the tribe. Like getting mad at one person, because you can't. No one can do it on their own, and no couple of people can do it on their own. You
Right.
have to have the whole tribe, and they're doing a great job this season. So good for them.
And I'm
and
glad
it's
to
hard
see him.
watching. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said I'm glad to see him teaming up with Nasser. Because I think he didn't get a real good edit early on, and I thought, he didn't have much personality. And then as I realized now that English is a second language for him and he struggles a little bit, he's been, really cool to watch. I mean, how he single-handedly won that challenge despite being probably the least physically gifted person on the team, right?
Right.
But Danny's like an anchor, and he's just doing.
Right. And then he finds an idol, and I don't think he told the person he had it until he did his goat on AstroTurf thing.
We didn't even know about it. They kept it from us. He hid it so well, we didn't even know.
Last night we finally had the fruition of the Wonder Team activation of the whole triple threat idol. Everyone has their idol.
The Captain Planet ring,
which should
come together.
Right?
It should never ever be done again. This is the only thing this season I've really not liked.
Really?
Well, it's
because the clues are stupid and it's cringy and everyone knows they have it.
It makes me feel It feels uncomfortable to give them time where they have. It's like, here's the setup so that you can say this stupid phrase, and then we're gonna hear you say that same stupid phrase for the 5th time, and everyone's like, you can tell even they are like, because nobody will make eye contact with each other.
But this is the first season they've done it, so no one knows what's going on. Let's say they use it again.
They all know, though.
They do now, but when it was first starting, they were like. But imagine how the dynamics of this kind of idol would change next season, where people could be privy to it. As soon as somebody says something wackadoodle, they'll be like, "Oh, they got something." Maybe they don't. Maybe they just are wackadoodle and said something. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I tell you what. The next tribal, after those are gone, I'd be out there saying something wacky just to throw people off.
But then that puts a target on you that people think you got something.
No, because I let all my allies know.
Be like, let's come up with something stupid to say. What should we say? Here's a way to kill a half hour of time around this campfire. Let's think of a stupid sentence to say and mess with the other tribe.
Absolutely. And I have one more point on why I think Nasser's great. Okay. Is here these two guys come to him and say they want to work with him. And they want to throw the comp. That was this week, not last week, but this week. And he said, want to work with you, would love to work with you. I'm not throwing the comp. And I just sort of went, he goes, I just don't want to play that way. I think we're here to win.
And he brought up the point to them of why. Because he says people who've done that don't go far.
Yep.
And he's not wrong. Those
that takes a lot.
It's like bad karma.
It takes a lot of character, though. He had no one he was working with. These two guys say, I want to work with you. The easiest thing in the world to do at that point, and what most people would have done is, okay, fine, we'll throw the comp. I'm not the one going home. What do I care?
Right.
And he didn't. And I just give him some props for that.
No,
well, he doesn't, Survivor is not one of the many vast differences that it shares with other reality competitions is that having I threw a comp on your resume is not a good thing. It's never something that will work. It doesn't sound good. And the type of competition that you are doing and the amount of time that you have to succeed, I don't think that throwing a comp is going to impress anybody in the end, and I think it would work against you. It might get you 1 week further. You could get rid of somebody who's a real threat. So, it has its... But you would really have to be able, if you made it to the final, you were in the final 2, you're sitting there and you're trying to tell people why you threw a comp and how it's important, it better have worked out from step 1 to step 5, and it better have led to you directly being able to get rid of your target. Otherwise, it's a disaster to have on your resume.
And throwing a comp is... No. Oh, go ahead, Kirsty.
It doesn't work when you're still on teams like they are now. I think it can work on your resume if during the individuals you're throwing ones that you don't, because you feel secure and you don't need to win because you don't want to put a target on your individual game. That it could work then.
And that's a really solid thing to do in a competition where you need to hold on to every little bit of reserve you have of energy, because it's not like they can just go home and reload and sleep well and, fuel up again and come out in 2 more days and do it again. So if you don't have to play hard, don't play it.
But I think it's interesting that throwing a comp has never been accepted in Survivor the way it has in other reality shows. I mean, Big Brother, it's like this is what you do, right? I mean,
well, again, it's so you don't look like a target. So I think that's why.
I get it, but it's just weird how on Survivor.
As
it
a
never
team,
really has ever played out where somebody's thrown a bunch of comps and floated to the end and said, I got here by throwing comps. And
but every time it comes up in Survivor, it's because there's somebody on the team that they want to get rid of because they're sick of living with them in camp. Because, oh my gosh, we've been here 20 days or whatever they're at now. What are they at now? That was week. Yeah, 20 days. And you go like, I seriously cannot hear their voice anymore. I mean,
but with her, it's not. With her, it's not of a I can't stand this person that I'm sharing space with. It's she's sketchy. Well, she's sketchy probably isn't really enough to go through all the work of trying to throw a comp yet again just to get a tribal council, just to get rid of her. And it could all turn sideways too, because if for some reason the rest of the tribe that's not privy to this throw. What if they catch wind that you tried to throw this so you could get rid of that person and it doesn't sit well with them? Then now you're the target when you never needed to be.
Yeah.
Especially when you can try to throw a comp and still beat the other two teams. Just keep winning. Just
right now when they're in their individual teams, they all feel very secure that, as 6 original members, or are they 6? Yeah, 6 original members. They haven't lost anyway. They feel very strong. But I think she's the weakest link that they think as soon as we merge, she's going to flip on us and she will not work with us. And they're probably not wrong there. They're probably not.
No, but so there's a bunch of other people that are going to go after them anyway when they merge. You know, might as well just find the people that will work with you, I guess.
Did they do a trek last week? I
don't think that they're incredibly wrong.
They did
to watch
this
throw
week. They did a trek this week. I don't recall if
they did. I don't remember one last week. Do you?
No.
Where they had to
do
that?
They did.
Okay. All right. So they did that again, and it was just this week, and it was Shannon.
Leanna.
What was your thinking there? Do you think it was as great as Shan thought it was?
I don't know. I think that they purposely left.
I'm really excited to meet Leanna, but was Leanna excited to meet her? Because
she gave her the advantage, I think was a good play.
Yeah.
Yes,
for sure.
She couldn't risk her vote. She knew
she couldn't, so she was very honest.
She said, "I'm going to give you the advantage," because they knew how it was played, so they could talk about it. And then the advantage she got, I mean, is one of the coolest ones I've seen. She can basically ask somebody if you do have an idol or an advantage. If they do, they have to give it to her. And she knows somebody on her team who has one.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Now, the downside...
Because she went through his bag, which I don't really dig.
But see, here's the thing. Okay, this is where this episode has got me in such a bind. Because on one hand, they went through the bag and that... yeah, of course. That is that's kind of wrong, but it's not against the rules.
No.
So, okay. I mean,
but you know what you're ensuring then? All your idols are going to smell like crotch.
Right.
For the rest of the time, right? Because what else do you do with it? You got nowhere else to put it.
But then, okay. Well, that's a little bit yucky, but it's sneaky play that's allowed. So I'm not down with it. But then, okay, so now we get this advantage where I can straight up ask somebody. And they have to tell me they don't have what's your number one, really what, your vote obviously is your number one power in the game, but what is your number 2 power in the game? Your secrets, what you know that someone else doesn't know.
Right.
And I feel one, yes, that makes an amazing, this is an amazing gift for her to have to be able to use, but at the same time I really feel upset for someone who she straight up asks, because it's such a ripoff on the idea that the only thing you have that keeps you safe is the thing you're not telling other people. So I really like it, but then I also really don't like it, but then I also really like it again.
Except Xander knows they all know he has the advantage.
Right. But when does she have to use it by?
It doesn't say.
I don't think it said
because if she can use it up to what, like final 6 or something
Oh, if
like
she
that,
can use it to the end, I mean, then she's got
then
to hang on
hold
to it.
on to it. Don't go after the person
Yeah.
you know who has it.
Yeah.
Sniff everyone out when
Yeah.
you all come together.
Well, and you could actually use it. You could tell Xander you have it and say,
Right.
I could take your idol, but I won't as long as you vote how I say.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
And he's dumb enough to go, okay.
well, yeah, he is. Also, that makes for something really powerful because he's got his. Now let's go find the other person that has one, and
has two,
remove it
doesn't he?
from them. And now we can start stockpiling them, you and I. So
Doesn't he have an extra vote and a?
yeah, but he couldn't use it until now because
But now he's
the-
got 2. Which does he have to
Right.
give her?
Finally.
I don't know. I don't think that the secret phrase one is the one he has to give her. I think it's the other
Well,
one.
if it was the only one he had, he'd have to.
Yeah. Maybe
Probably.
maybe it's loser's
His choice, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So I have to see how it pans out. Maybe it'll end up being like really awesome in the game, but I'm 50-50. I keep going back and forth if this is like a good thing or if this is a bad thing in the structure of the game. I know it's different. We're doing things differently, but there's certain things that even if you're going to be different, there's certain staples you need to hold on to because it's what makes Survivor. So
Right.
I think in the long run, it's going to be a good thing. It might not pan out for this season, but it's going to make people a lot more secretive next season, which is what we
Right.
want. We want people like keep it to yourself. That's more interesting to see how people are playing when they don't know, but you know
Yes.
what that. person is,
Yes,
right? That's
exactly.
what
And that's what I mean. Like the last
So
few
maybe that's why they came
episodes,
up with this. Maybe that was the motivation for coming up with this.
maybe
thing, like,
because
don't let people
Nasir's
know.
the only one, right? Nasir's the only one that's holding on to anything or got a hold of anything that hasn't told everybody else about
But now they know because he's talked about the goat on AstroTurf.
it. Right.
And that's why that whole thing is dumb.
Yes.
They should have to like stand and touch their nose or something.
Now-
That at least wouldn't be that obvious.
But
Maybe next
does
time we
it
get different.
but nobody else does anybody else in his tribe know about it?
Well, they know he said something stupid for no apparent reason.
Right.
But
But
did
do they
he?
know about do they know about
He
the
actually stopped him and said, Jeff, and then
But it
he
wasn't.
said
But
his phrase.
based on what other people were saying, his wasn't that weird.
Okay,
I'm gonna
truth be
guess,
told,
I'm
though, he can also go, my English isn't so good. It's
What I
lost in
meant to
translation.
say was,
You
I
know,
had this
talking
goat.
about stuff. Everyone's saying their stupid thing, and then he says, Jeff, I'm as confused as a goat on AstroTurf. That's not that crazy. It kind of falls into the conversation a lot better than the whole butterflies and the.
Oh my God, don't even say the sentence. See, I'm so with you, David. I don't even want to hear the
Yeah,
sentence
it's totally
again.
cringy.
Yeah,
The butterfly one?
yeah. All of them. I can't. I'm with you. I can't for whatever reason. It
Oh,
just
the
gives me.
broccoli. Look, broccoli's just little trees.
Well, that
Just
isn't
the
as
trees.
bad as the butterfly one.
No.
Yeah, it isn't. It isn't. I don't know what is it about this
In
butterfly
order to say
one.
the
But
butterfly one, you have to set it up. You have to say, I didn't realize it was going to be as hard out here, or, how much I'm really missing my family.
He really tried and nobody bought it.
okay, would it be so cringy if it would have been in another player's hands? Maybe
Well,
it's him. Maybe he's what's making it cringy.
He's not slick.
He's not.
He's not.
He's
maybe
not.
He's not
And,
slick. I
and
know
when he
that could
says
be
it, he really
Because I
like,
think there's a way to set it up for yourself.
yeah, because he does kind of come across as like, I don't know, dippity doo. When he says it, it's like
Very earnest and honest, poor guy. Wrong game.
It's a long game. It's a long game.
Maybe he'll do better on the circle. I don't know.
He might not look as good now with JP gone because like he had someone like a little bit younger and like bouncier about things than he was
JP,
at the beginning.
Talking to our JP, I was like, what does that
Yeah,
do with it?
that JP too. Where's he?
No,
Nobody knows.
JD, not JP.
JD,
JD.
JP, not JP, the man who's always moving.
He is
Always
an extremely busy
moving.
guy. He's always got something going on.
I can't. I'm moving.
Now, can we talk about the challenge? One specific aspect about the challenge.
Yeah, go ahead.
What in God's name was that slow motion thing with Ricard. On a
Oh my
shot
God,
he
shut up. It
missed.
was so
And
amazing.
even if he made it, it didn't matter because he was too behind. Why did they do that?
I don't
Maybe
know,
they just got
but
his
I
form
swear
was
to God,
very stellar.
I want it to keep happening.
It was like a mistake. We got to cut that up for Twitter. We got to put that out there.
I really like how they're doing some of these like creative camera stylings this season. It does make it a little interesting.
Production hit the
Yeah.
slow-mo button at the wrong pitch.
Yeah, it was like it was a mistake. It didn't make sense.
It was but it wasn't as bad as last week with JD saying money, and then like don't yell money unless you're really gonna make it. That's so
Way to
awkward.
go. Way to go. That kid. You know,
No, now JD,
like,
you owe us
and it
money
was the
now.
best, right? Because I mean, I have to say, when he realized that they got him and he evicted him, he made like the sound you knew he was gonna make. The like, I don't know. I want to see
Do it,
him be
Gene,
able
do
to
it.
have, you know, a little bit of time to grow and learn about other humans and how to work around them in these situations. But yeah, he was very green.
He
Green to
was.
the whole wide world. But he had spunk, that guy. But no, he's destined to come back around. I think
Yeah,
he's just so passionate for the game.
He was very eager. I
Yes.
think would be a good way.
Maybe him and Brad, both of them for kind of gunning it too soon there, you know, like. But,
that Brad.
No,
Well,
I
with
had
Brad, it
that.
was a strategic decision. With JD, I think it was just his personality. I think that's just where he was. I'm
Well,
excited to be here, and I really want to go.
Well, there's
Right.
another thing too. Sometimes there's people out there who get anxious or nervous around other people they don't know, or cameras that are filming them, and then they just start to like do the weird talky thing where they just can't stop talking. And JD seemed a little bit like that. Like maybe he was just too much, just like telling them too
Do you know
much.
what he
like,
reminded me? He really reminded me of, you know, in like the old Looney Tunes cartoons, where they had like the bulldog and then the little dog. And like the other one dog was like all full of pep, and he's like, ha, 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 and the other one, yeah, shit.
Right. Yeah.
All right, I
That
was
was him.
thinking. I'm a little older. I was thinking Scrappy Doo.
No, Scrappy Doo.
Let me at him.
Actually,
Yep,
no,
that's-
yes, same idea.
Yep. Just full of ideas and energy, and it all went the wrong way.
And then
Gotta
the
wrap
other
that
thing,
into a tight little, you know, wrap that up in a tight little ball, and then stuff it way down, and compete against others.
and Yazzie, or they were losing so much, but now they've 2 weeks in a row have done way better in the challenges. You
Yep.
would never have thought that after they got rid of those two guys. Like they're
Yep.
gonna. Nope, they.
It's all because of Tiffany.
Well, but are they going to be sad that they didn't get rid of Tiffany? Oh man, that's another one. Wow.
Was anyone else sad to see Jeannie leave? I kind of was, and I was surprised.
I
I was surprised I
Jeannie.
was, because I didn't like her, and then I did.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I
like
don't think we even got enough. I didn't even have an opinion. I was very meh about her. Like I didn't.
I just thought she was like, at the end, she was like a sweet, useful idiot. I mean, she was just going to do whatever they told her to do. And, I mean, how do you see the advantage? And they go, oh, just leave it there. And you go, oh, okay. And her first impulse was to go get them and show them that she's found the advantage.
Poor sweet Jeannie. I don't know. The whole thing makes me really sad because
Maybe she's never watched
that
it before.
Jeannie.
No, with the negative, the thing with the phrase, if you took it but didn't open it, do you lose your vote for just merely possessing it, or do you have to open it?
I think it says like on it, if you open it,
If you take this
Right.
or something.
So-
If you take
Well, no,
this,
the question is if you took it and put it in your pocket but never looked to see what
Right.
it said,
because I think
you
the
could
rule
ensure
was,
somebody else didn't get
if you
it.
take this,
Right.
it's yours.
Because I know they can't burn them anymore, right?
I
You find
suppose
them
not.
Genie just
No,
running over
didn't somebody burn an advantage once
No,
early
it's
on?
just for anyone.
Like burned the paperwork that came with
Yeah.
an idol or something.
No, I thought they actually burned the idol.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Because they
I
were
don't
like,
know.
they were trying to put the show that, I trust you all, I don't need it, so I'm gonna.
I don't know.
Maybe I'm making that up. Maybe I wish that happened.
I get on there. You
That
could
was
be the guy that does
Brad's
it.
masterful play in my mind.
So-
They're talking about it on Twitter in my Dave world.
This is how he was going to win the game. That's why I picked him. Winner's
This is
pick.
all played out. We had a conversation in my house last night about the editing. So I wanted to get you guys' input on it, see what you think. They said that you can always tell who's going to go home that night because of the editing. And I said, if you watch more, these casual video viewers that are not picking it all up. I said, not really. Sometimes they flip it the other way. So last night, what we saw between Ricard and Shan was that just a little bit, and editing took it to try and make it a bigger thing. Was there ever really a doubt whether they were trusting each other?
Oh, no. I think that was there, but I think the whole him and Genie teaming up was set up in advance.
Like, because what's he going to say? No.
Right.
Because they were left on the beach together while she left. Clearly, they're going to talk, right? They have to talk.
You would
They're
think.
not just gonna say, "Nope, can't talk till Shan's back," right? So they had to talk about something. And so when she goes and tells Shan what he said, when Shan went to him, he could have just been like, "Dude, I was stuck here on the beach by myself with her. What were we supposed to talk about? Clearly, I don't want her to think that we're against her." So, right?
Well, and then
The
the
only thing
fact that
we
they
can do
had
is the person who's not here, the one person.
Yeah.
the fact that they had their little like mistrust spat or whatever that was. The whole like, I'm going to hold on to it because I think this means that you're going to do this, and I think that means you're going to do this. That probably like I would assume that in editing they were like, well, this is obviously really important. Like we have to have this in here. But what are we going to like feed into this narrative so that when they go to tribal, it's a mystery for the viewers. Who's going to go?
Right. There's some sort of
because I'm sure that the whole conversation came to a resolution right there and then.
Right.
It's not something that's drug out until tribal.
And there was still an inkling of it, but after tribal, that should have gone away now, right? Because they
Right.
both did what they said they were going to do. So see, you didn't need it. We're fine. We're together. We got rid of Genie. They should be good now. But we see. Go ahead, David.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, but we see in previews next week. I don't know if we're supposed to tell us, but I think it's happening. Something's happening next week because we all wondered what's going to happen when there's a tribe of two. And that's what we got.
They're saying it's not a traditional merge, so I think they're going to merge down to two teams.
Yeah, I am. Well, and I'm curious because he says, he does the, drop your buffs, and then everybody's like super pumped, and then he's like, not so fast.
Right.
What are we going to do differently? I mean, even if we just went to two teams, that's still drop your buffs and separate into two teams. I mean, that's not differently.
Yeah, but if you did it by, picking out of a hat for new buffs as opposed to a schoolyard pick, that could change every power dynamic there is.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, now we're to 12 players. So we had one team that was full of 6. You take the 2 and the 4 remaining, that they could make their own tribe. So you got 2 tribes, 6 and 6 is what we're both thinking? I think so. Now
they totally won't do this, but it would be pretty awesome if we are down to. So we have the Uad, we're down to 2. We've got the 2 of them left. Between the 2 of them, what if we did get to do schoolyard picks between those 2? Because they're working together. We as the viewers, we know they're working together. To see the 2 that are working together now have to form their own tribes,
from
against each other.
But that would mean they're writing it on the spot and they don't have a plan going into the season because they couldn't have foreseen this.
Right. Well, they could just have a bunch of scenarios to go. When we get there, we'll decide what we're going to do based on how it plays out to there.
Right.
That's not horrible.
And on top of that, if we have any two players, if any tribe is down to two players, they say this is how we're going to do this. But it just was like extra great because these two are working together.
Well, if they kept doing that, they went one more week, let's say. You'd have a tribe that has to sit out 4 people, but they can't sit out the same people 2 in a row. So now you can't. So it's broken. You can't go beyond 2. You can't go down to 2, right? So
Right.
but really interesting. Really interesting. I wonder. I'm really excited to see who gets on what side, and how those dynamics that already existed are there, and if they're not, or what, because it'll be really interesting to see who gels with each other from from opposite tribes.
Well, one thing that we didn't talk about when we had the two of them meet for the, like, do we turn the wheel, or do we give up the vote, do we risk our vote, is that she told her, Ricard's my number 1, so if I'm not here,
you can't
go
trust
after
him.
you can't trust him.
Right. Which is
that was
weird.
a great piece of info to give her if you knew you were going home.
Right.
So you could put the target on the person who's sending you home. But now that she didn't go home, dummy. Like, now this person that you think is going to be your alliance, because you're the 2 black girls, which Leanna said, we have to be careful that they don't look at us like we're the 2 black girls.
Yeah.
Like, so one of them wants that kind of like bonding. The other one's like, I don't want to put a target on me. I don't want.
So what do you do if you're playing this and that person gives you that information? This person is my number 1. Don't trust them. And then you guys, the next week you come together, you see she was not voted out, and then you're going to merge. I mean, like, do you hold that information in your back pocket because you're going to go and tell him as soon as possible? Like, listen, she was turning on you. Or is it going to come in where she uses that information of, I'm going to stick with you and keep my eye out on him? I mean, like,
she can do either.
Is it going to hurt her or help?
Well, do you think how is Leanna sitting in her tribe? So she's with Evie and Tiffany and Xander. Is she super solid with any of them?
I don't know. I don't know that Evie and Xander are still with Tiffany and Leanna
No,
after the whole.
Right.
No, I'm just saying that's the 4. That's who she's with. She's with those 3
Right.
people. That's their tribe.
Right.
Is she super solid with any of those 3? That she's made a final
solid with Tiffany. Real solid with Tiffany.
Yeah.
Because they did the go through the bag together thing, and
Okay, and honestly, guys, let's face it. These
But
tribes
Tiffany's not
merge. If these tribes merge, there is no flipping way that Ricard does not call Tiffany out. There's no way.
oh, no question.
No way.
So then you have to look. If you're Leanna, do you go, I could be with her and him, and I know that they're solid together, and she wants to work with me, I can work with them, and I can leave these people in my tribe, or maybe, I don't know who she's close with over there. Maybe she pulls Tiffany along, although that's a weird foursome. But maybe you could do something like that, because she doesn't have, right now, just as the 4, none of them seem really that super solid.
Well,
Ricard and Shannon seem the most solid of everybody, right? Yeah. Maybe Danny and Deshawn.
Maybe I was going to say Danny and Deshawn, but I don't know how it's all going to play out. I just think that maybe accidentally it will really work in her favor, but I don't think that it was a wise choice at all. I just don't. I don't know. These people, like on this season, they're all like, I have a secret.
Right. Hey, I know I just met you 5 seconds ago. I mean, I've seen you.
I was in a gang, and I had all these bad things happen in my life, and let's cry.
If she was in a gang and she's told secrets like that,
she clearly
they just told her she was in the gang. Do you know what I mean?
She's like, what's her name? You know, in West Side Story. Come on, guys, give me a chance. Scram, you.
Oh, yeah.
A little scrappy kid. Yeah.
Did she have a name?
I don't know. Mouse.
Kid. It was Kid. I think it was Kid. I think they just always referred to her as Kid. Get out of here, Kid.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the remake. It's only a couple weeks away.
Yes, I am too. Exciting times we are in.
Yeah,
My
on that
husband is-
note of exciting times. I was told tonight that we should have postponed our and not recorded this week, and I said no, we didn't record last week. We have to record tonight. But I was told, how are we recording on the night that Doom drops?
I canceled
be
my
watching
ticket.
Doom.
I was supposed to be there, and I would have had to miss the
Oh!
recording.
It's streaming on HBO. We're gonna watch it right in the living room. So I said tomorrow night.
Yep, that's when
Friday
we're
night,
watching it
that's gonna
too.
be our date night.
After-
I'm going to go see it in the theater first. I have to.
I
Well-
would want to. I mean, I would want to, but theaters are still scary places for me.
My
I don't.
significant other doesn't like movie theaters. Didn't even like them before COVID. He thinks they're high priced and ridiculous, and he likes watching at home because he has a surround sound. Because when you go there, there's always somebody talking or coughing or.
Not wrong. He's not wrong. Also, the floors are
not.
sticky, and somebody with a stomach flu sat in your seat earlier.
But there's certain
Sure.
certain movies that you have to see on the big screen.
I feel that way. He
I
does.
agree. No, I agree.
I mean, I'm not for the world, but for you youngins, Star Wars first run on
I
the big
saw
screen.
Star
No, but I'm
Wars
saying,
in the
you know,
theater.
when
First
it
run.
came out, there had never been anything like that. We were like this, you know.
I saw
Chris, I was
Star Wars in the
9.
movie theater when I was 5 years old, and I saw it at the movie theater, and I remember thinking, this is the best movie I have ever seen. And I don't know if I've seen many movies before that. Probably seen some Disney movies, maybe, because there was no VHS or anything. So you had to go to the theater to see stuff. So maybe some Disney. Maybe, I can't remember which came first, Star Wars or Smoking the Bandit. Well, I saw them both around the same time. Maybe one. Star
I
Wars.
saw him in
was
the theater
excellent.
too.
That bandit.
In fact, was my very first movie theater experience.
Jamie, you're too young to have seen Star Wars in the movie theater. When it originally was
79?
out,
You would have had to
79?
see a re-release.
79?
wasn't it 77?
Oh, I might have seen it. Maybe that one was the re-release.
I was
But it was
9,
my very
it was
first
77.
movie.
77.
And then-
Okay,
And then I actually have active memory of Return of the Jedi. I
was
got
actually, like,
active memory
2
of
weeks
that.
shy, I think, or a month shy of being 5, I think, when it came out. But
I remember the disappointment for episode 1.
Yep. It's just how
And I never thought
I
they
wasn't-
succeeded until I saw the sequels. And
I mean,
then-
I wasn't disappointed. I was open for a whole new storyline. I mean, here we go in our Star Wars talk. But I was very excited because my oldest son, he was like 2 years old or 3 years old right there when episode 1 came out, and I was like so excited because I was going to be able to, relive all these Star Wars memories with him again, with my kid. So that was really cool, and he loves Star Wars. Of all my kids, he's the one that likes it.
I went through all of them with my kid thinking, oh, this is going to be so same thing. Oh, I get to relive all this with my kid. And he, because of his cousins, he got to watch all of the new ones first. And he was like, I don't like Star Wars. And I'm like,
Nope.
what? And I'm like, no,
Watch
sit
them like
down.
that. Nope.
You're watching the first 3. And
Yeah.
then he did. And he was like, okay, these are really good. I'm like, duh.
Duh.
I told my kid who's now 19 when he was like 9, I'm like, we're going to watch these and you're going to watch them in the same order I did. So we
Correct.
put on,
There you go, see?
we put on episode 4, which was just Star Wars when I was a kid.
Right.
And we watched it. And then I said, okay, in 3 years, we're going to watch the next one.
There you go.
And
3
he's like-
years.
It's like, no!
I'm
No, you
really
have to wait
super
just like we
excited.
did.
I'm really excited for when you're standing on that hill in the middle of the ocean in Survivor and you like met someone for 3 seconds and you're telling them what word that you watch Star Wars in. And then you instantly bond and then make a life-changing $1 million choice off of that.
Oh, Jamie, good girl.
And this is the Star Wars talk with David, Christy, and Jamie.
Okay, so question. I've thought of this before because I watch a lot of TV. I watch a lot of movies. I always thought like I would be the one at camp going, okay, guys, what story do you want me to tell you tonight? Right? I would be like that. Like, I'm going to tell you guys a story. Sit around because there's nothing else to do. And if you can be entertaining for them, have we ever seen anybody ever do that? Like every night they're going to tell some story.
No, we don't
of whatever.
ever get to see that on Survivor, but I mean like
That's my MO. That's what I'm going to do.
Isn't that
That's
like the
what you gotta
entire principle of The Princess Bride?
Yeah.
essentially.
Well, the people who say they haven't seen Princess Bride. So yeah, where were we at?
Spoiler alert, it all takes place on a sick day. Just saying.
Well, was he really sick? Though? I think he got what he deserved. He wasn't really sick.
So
Grandpa
back to Survivor. Here's my prediction, my bold prediction for next week. And because Brad is gone, I got to predict something.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
No, my bold prediction is they are going to split into 2 teams. They're going to totally mix it up, and they're going to take away everything, including the Flint, and start them again. That is my bold prediction.
Well, they just now. Well, see that'd be.
They literally will have nothing. They go no tarps, no.
Funny if they did that because literally 2 of the teams just finally got tarps.
Right, yeah. But they're gonna give all that up again, and.
You think they will?
Yep, that's what I think they're doing.
I think that I could see that. I could sensibly see that happening.
And maybe they're going to make them immediately both go to tribal and go to 5 and 5.
Ooh.
I mean, wouldn't that be a thing? And here you are, and you're going right to tribal, no talking.
That's pretty bold. That is pretty bold.
And that, my friend, is how you cut a week off of the traditional Survivor schedule.
Well, they also have less players to start with. Didn't they start with less?
I think they might have started with 1 or 2 less.
Because I thought they usually do 20. It was 18. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
It's those numbers again. You keep expecting me to know things like last names and numbers.
Well, for Big Brother, let's face it, you knew all that.
Yeah, I don't.
You know that. You're like, yeah, that's Rachel Riley, and she was born on this day. It was a Tuesday. It was a little cloudy that day. But
she was in 3 different gangs. She got kicked out of 2. She left the 3rd one.
Because she was telling the secrets.
Telling all the secrets.
So, with Brad being gone, who's your new pick? Did you make a new one?
Yeah, I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I want to go with Ricard because he's a bad one, but I'm going Danny. I'm all in with Danny.
Oh,
all right.
I think I'm going for the hero cut, the hero edit.
Okay.
And he's an ex-Chicago Bear. I mean, I gotta go for him.
I would be happy to support you on that venture. I think that he's definitely going to make it to the second half. I don't care.
And let's face it,
I love that my pick is like clearly the most obnoxious person in all of that part of the ocean. There might be another mermaid that's as obnoxious as her, but we haven't seen her.
You know what, though? Here's the thing, though. In 41 seasons, she's not even close to being the most obnoxious. Not even close.
Russell
also,
Hams.
okay, I'm going to be...
What's her name?
I'm going to be perfectly honest, too. Like, was it last week when they showed her, like, maybe it was 2 weeks ago, trying to, like, start the fire, and it didn't work, and she
started crying and threw the stuff down?
And she, like, threw the stuff down and marched down. I was like...
That was last week.
I'm like, I get you, girl.
You would have done that?
Oh, that's so mean. I'm such an F this person. Like, nope, I'm done. Nope, I'm done. Never mind. I'm not pretend like I never even did this.
I can't see that you would be like that.
No. I get mad and then I'll kick it over, I'll throw sand in its face, and I'll never look at it again.
That's probably not good if you're doing a face painting on a child.
No, they're cool.
I'm gonna kick over the paints. I wanted that unicorn horn to be yellow and it's pink.
I never let my kids down. My kids are always happy.
Right, your own personal kids.
No,
those other kids.
That is not what you meant.
Not them. As far as they're concerned, I'm in competition for the meanest mother of the year. I tell them all the time when they say, "You're the meanest mom in the world." I'm like, I'm this much closer to the trophy. Yes.
Yeah. No, what they have to understand is, I would tell mine this is not a competition. It's not. I'm not here to be your best friend. If you think I'm being mean, I'm probably doing a good job. So there you go.
That's what you're gonna have to start using. That's what you're gonna have to. You know what? Tiffany's gonna drop that.
Get used to it.
Tiffany's MO there in a minute.
If Tiffany wins, I swear to you, I will never watch Survivor again. My entire life.
So, do we want to hear the update on our fantasy league of who's sitting where?
Yes, I didn't look at it at all.
I
won't go week to week. I'll just talk about where we are overall right now. Okay. So we have 2 weeks.
I think I'm behind JP.
We're all behind JP.
He's always moving.
He's moving right now.
This very moment.
My sister is still in first place. I don't know how she's doing this. I don't know what sort of voodoo crystal ball she's got, but she literally has like twice as many points as I do for the season. And she's got like 1,480 points. And I'm like, what? Huh? So I'm gonna think next season I'm not gonna invite her to play in our league. Because
better our league than somebody else's.
Yeah. And then Rose in second place. Mandy's in third, Maggie's in fourth, then JP, then me, then Jamie, then David. We're all bunched together. And then after David comes Randy, then Maddie, Mandy's daughter, and Butter Nichols. Who is Butter Nichols? Every time.
Someone who played only the first week.
Carol? Every time I do this. Yeah, some people forgot to put in their things last week, which it happens.
But
but you know what?
I'm not going to give up. Because I
Don't
look
give
back.
up.
I look back on the 2 seasons that I won. Two.
Yeah.
That
2?
I won.
Wow.
Yep. 2. And I didn't get a trophy or nothing. That's why we got to have a
No,
trophy.
it's just bragging rights.
But I'm making a trophy. We're gonna start sending it around.
Make a trophy? No, make it a crown.
Oh, maybe. And then I'm gonna make. And by the way, I'm gonna make idols for all of you. We're gonna have idols at some point. So like Jamie Joe, your idol is special power is going to be to cancel any JP bad joke.
Yes.
You can just he can start. You can play your idol and just you can't make that joke, dude.
That's a lot of
The
power.
idol mutes JP, so I can just.
But anyhow, when I look back, on the time I won, I scored like 1,600 points in the last week.
Woo!
So you're not out of it because.
Oh no, and you can always count on, even if you forget a week, you can always count that other people will forget a week as well. So then it kind of balances out. Usually, everybody has 1 week where they forget because it just time gets away from us. We're busy.
It still shows my MVP. Why didn't I get credit for what he did? Even if I didn't enter it, I should have gotten points for him.
Oh, because if you didn't save any of your, it wipes it out. It just deletes it all.
But it's still there.
So you're not even MVP anymore.
For next
if
week.
you forget a week and your MVP's still there, then yeah,
so.
you got to pick a new event. You got to pick him again. You start at 10 points again, which. But
I think that's the
right.
only place I'm getting points. Swim, Little
Um,
Mermaid, swim.
well, let me go. I can go and actually look at tribal results.
Yeah, no, it is. It's back to 0.
Oh.
Aww. But that's okay. Everybody loves an underdog, right?
It doesn't matter. After having correctly predicted Big Brother on the first week we broadcasted,
It's true.
I should have just retired a winner. I
Yeah.
really did. But that's why I'm going with Danny, because I'm getting the same vibe I got.
Right, right.
It's a lot harder on Survivor to pick early on the winner because the way they edit
That's true.
what you see before the game starts but like in Big Brother you can get a pretty good feel.
Yeah, because you got like 3 episodes a week to move back and forth.
Yes, true.
I'm just saying I'm getting a Xavier vibe off of Danny. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, because he's staying cool. I think he's going to stay
Except
cool.
when he was yelling at Tiffany.
Wait a minute. What do you mean you're getting Xavier? Oh, Xavier X. Okay, got it.
Yeah, he's
You forget.
just chilling, waiting for his time.
So
to
you
make
guys
big moves.
ask a quick question here. Were you guys worried that people wouldn't know that those are your for Twitter, your Twitter handles there? Did you have to find me on Twitter?
I just did it because Jamie Joe did. I just totally copied. Because I was doing the names, but I couldn't think of one for this week. So
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm not going to invite you to find me on Facebook. Nobody wants that.
I'm there. It's not a political.
Your Facebook is delightful. I like it.
First up.
I like it. And somebody had a birthday this week.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, I did. That's why
did.
I was in Arkansas today.
Oh,
For
was
your
it?
birthday?
Yeah, well, because we all everyone was working on my birthday, so we just waited till 2 days later to go do stuff.
A random Thursday?
Yep.
Were the kids out of school? Oh, and wait.
They're doing the online stuff, so
there you go.
we can just go
Well,
with
that's
it.
good. But this president has many people out. Then.
Yep.
And I
It was
do
pretty
absolutely
nice.
love that you say Arkansas because that's funny. Um, it's how you learn how to spell when you're in like fourth grade, learning all the
Well,
states.
it was quite humorous when my son's like, why are you saying Arkansas? And I said, because it's literally spelled Arkansas. He's like, but I don't get it.
Yeah,
Like, don't worry about it. It's cool. Don't concern yourself.
we're working on humor still, son. We're working on it.
We're still working on it. I'm sorry that there's not like a fart thing attached to it. I know it'd be a lot funnier if there was, but this is the jokes.
I'm 53. The fart jokes are still funny.
Fart
It's a
jokes are so
guy
funny.
thing. It's in our
They don't
DNA.
die.
They never
Yeah.
stop.
No, they
Well,
don't die.
funny story. My kids, their play was this last weekend, and they were the two that are still at home, the two that are still in high school, and so they were in their play, and one of the people during the play comes busting out, and they're like the main villain of this show, comes busting out to yell at their brother, the person playing their brother, and I don't know what they were doing backstage, but they came out and they were like, listen, like they're all mic'd up and everything, like this ginormous burp, and he's like, and everyone broke character, everyone started laughing. It was like, was that planned? Was what? And just said his, and then they laughed a little bit. And then he said his line. But I thought, wow.
He must have taken like a big drink of water or something before he ran out there, you know?
I don't know. I'm just saying, guys, when you're doing theater, if you are getting drinks on the sides, before you come in, don't make it a carbonated beverage.
Yeah.
Just don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get the gas out before you step on stage.
But I mean, like, he could have just been like, and then said the thing, but it was, and they, oh yeah, it was.
But you know what? Nobody would have remembered that. And here we are, days later, talking about his performance, and now
and
I'm suddenly interested.
See, it's not quite.
Now, if he would have worked it, if he would have worked it into his lines somehow, like, and see, I'm so angry, I can't even,
Yeah.
You're giving me acid.
Would have stepped right up into genius level.
Yeah.
Making me feel sick.
That's the difference between Chris Farley and literally every other human that's ever lived.
Yep.
Because he would have had the line. It would have been there.
It's all about having the line.
I think Belushi would have had the line too.
Got to carry it. Carry the joke over the line or it means nothing.
Got to carry it. Yeah, like I said, could have been worse. Could have been a fart. And I don't know. Because then what does everybody go like, woo? I don't even know. Anyway, it was very funny. All right, anybody else got anything this week?
Nope, that's it. I'm excited to see what
All right,
Jeff's
guys,
making us wonder about.
Making us wonder about what?
The whole merch.
Twist.
Not so fast, guys. Wait a minute.
You know what?
Not so fast, guys. No.
On Twitter, I told you how it's going to play.
You did.
Okay.
You did. I would like to
That's
take
got it.
back what I just said, too. He did not say, not so fast, guys.
Did he?
He just said, not so fast.
He said guys at least twice since.
Yeah, I know he
That's a
said
hard
it.
word to strike. That's a hard
Yeah.
word to strike. I don't know. It's slangy and whatever. Like I tell the amount of times a day that I say to someone, dude, and I'm not calling them dude.
Yeah.
It's like a non sequitur. It's like that thing that you just say to be like, oh my gosh, check this out. Right?
Yes.
But,
Yes, exactly. It's punctuation.
yeah. And I'm sure that's it's not awesome to say dude anymore, but whatever. All right. So guys, don't forget to follow us on Twitter because, we have so much to say all the time.
You can find me there.
We do. And my fantasy
You can find
Twitter
it.
is the things they're talking about are just wonderful.
Dave's got the
Absolutely.
best fantasy Twitter. Dave,
I do.
Go.
And also hit subscribe so you can get notifications. Join us in the live chat during the show so we can talk to you and you can talk to us. Tell us who you like, who you don't like, who you're rooting for, what crazy things Jeff did that week. We're down for it all.
Yeah,
So,
whatever.
Yeah.
Give us false spoilers. We like false spoilers.
We call it what
Never a
if.
mystery we can't solve without the Google guys.
What if? So join us next week. We'll be here at the same time, 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern. And that's what we'll do. So I guess we are going to end the show. And we'll see you next week. Bye, guys.